Hello and welcome to the morning sports briefing here on Tuesday, the 1st of September. Yes, welcome to a new month, everybody. And wow, that means we've been going for all of April, all of May, all of June, all of July, all of August. That's means we've completed 5 months now that we have been live, coming to you every single day at 7 a.m., helping you start your day the best way, up to speed with all of the important sports news. And that's it. Get the cup in the corner there for those of you watching live, because yes, you can watch us live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. Our Facebook page is our best place, where you can just search for New Zealand Sports Radio and you can find us there. In the news today, Jofrey Archer is back for the limited overs side. We've got the rugby kicking off this weekend, as well as rumours out of South Africa about whether they're going to be part of the Rugby Championship this year. Todd Payton is going to join the Cowboys, and Hawaii decide to end their relationship with the Raiders. We've got in the NBA, we have a record sale for a trading card, as well as the Miami Heat and Milwaukee Bucks will kick off their semi-final series this weekend, and it's D-Day for the Thunder facing the Rockets. The Tour de France finished stage 3 overnight, and we have a big signing in the women's cycling. It was a double header in the IndyCar, so we have an update from that race as well, and also the US Open has started as well. So wow, oh wow, it is a packed morning of sports news for you. And where shall we start? Let's start with the cycling. And in the Tour de France, Peter Sagan has won his 126th green jersey. He's won it overall at the race 7 times. So that's a record 7 times. So, congratulations to Peter Sagan there. Caleb Ewan, the Australian, won the stage in a mass sprint. So congratulations to him. And because of that finishing the mass sprint, that means that there was no change to the overall lead. Julian Alaphilippe retains yellow. He's just holding it at the moment. I can't see him taking that all the way to Paris. Over in the women's cycling, and Annemiek van Vleuten, the world champion, will be moving from Mitchelton Scott, as she has signed a 2-year deal with Movistar. So congratulations to her on that move. So the Dutch rider, who's 37, has signed a 2-year deal. Wow. And she is just getting better and better, even though as she gets older there. I'm going to hand you over now to Ashwin, who's going to take us through our cricket update.
Good morning, Paul, and good morning to all our viewers and listeners on the interweb. And yes, as Paul mentioned, Jofrey Archer back in the England whiteboard team. Archer's been recalled into the forthcoming ODI and T20 series against Australia. Joining Archer from the Test squad will be Josh Buttler, Mark Wood and Sam Curran. However, there is no return for Test captain Joe Root and Jason Roy, who is still recovering from a side strain. Yesterday, while we were on air, St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots were playing the Guyana Amazon Warriors. The Patriots scored 150 for 5, with Joshua De Silva scoring 59 and Dinesh Ramdin 37. The Warriors made light work of the total on their way to 153 for 3 off just 17.3 overs. Nicholas Puran setting up the win with 100 from 45 balls. This included 10 sixes, so not a lot of running there. And today there are no games in the CPL. Where's my mouse gone? I've lost my mouse. Here we go. Whilst we're waiting for scheduling information from the IPL, there's been another player having to pull out. Kane Richardson has pulled out to stay home with his wife, who was expecting their first child. Richardson has been replaced at the Royal Challengers Bangalore by Adam Zampa. And finally, Glenn Maxwell and Marcus Stoinis have impressed in Australia's intra-squad warm-up matches. Maxwell scored a century on the way to helping a Pat Cummins-led team to victory as they chased down 250 with 51 balls to spare. That's Quite a good effort. The first of the T20s against England is on Friday, which will be Saturday New Zealand time. And that, Paul, is our cricket news for today.
Thank you very much, Ashwin, for that. I'm going to hand you over now to Stephen, who's going to take us through our birthdays.
Yeah, thank you, Paul. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the first day of spring, the 1st of September. I can't believe it, but what a great day to start your birthday. And we've got the three today. We've got a veteran hooker who plays in the front row for the Highlanders, who has got better with age, way better. We've got a wicketkeeper batsman who created his own record by being the first wicketkeeper to score a century on display. Not the first wicketkeeper, but the highest scoring wicketkeeper on display. And finally, a New Zealand sportswoman who's represented both New Zealand in cricket and hockey, and that's where we start things this morning. Sophie Devine, born this day, the 1st of September 1989, is a New Zealand sportswoman who has represented New Zealand in both cricket for the New Zealand national women's team, the White Ferns, and in field hockey as a member of the New Zealand women's national field hockey team, the Black Sticks. And listen, I could have written down all her accolades. It's pretty amazing. Google her. She's done some fantastic things in both codes. Moving right along, though, Thomas Blundell, born this day, the 1st of September 1990, is a New Zealand cricketer. He made his international debut for the New Zealand national cricket team in January 2017. He also plays first-class cricket for Wellington. In April 2019, he was named in New Zealand's one-day international ODI squad for the 2019 Cricket World Cup, despite being uncapped in an ODI match. He made his test debut for New Zealand against the West Indies on the 1st of December 2017. He replaced an injured BJ Watling at the time as the wicketkeeper, scoring 107 not out, which is the highest test score by a New Zealand wicketkeeper on debut. He also became the first wicketkeeper since Matt Pryor in 2007 to score a century on a test debut. Of course, Matt Pryor, the former English wicketkeeper. And finally this day, one of my favourite players. It just goes to show age is no barrier. Ash Dixon, born this day, the 1st of September 1988, is a New Zealand Rugby Union player. He plays in the hooker position for the Super Rugby franchise, the Highlanders and Hawke's Bay in the Mitre 10 Cup. Dixon has formerly played for the Hurricanes in Super Rugby and for Auckland in what was then the ITM Cup. And let's not forget, he was probably another one that got away from the Blues because he played in the Blues development squad as well. But I've got to say, he's one of those players that has just got better with age. And that's our birthdays today. I'll be back with the league news in one moment.
Thank you very much, Stephen, but not too much cake for Ash Dixon because, hey, he has could be playing for the North squad in the North versus South rugby game this weekend, Stephen.
You're getting those segues down pad, Paul. It's scary.
Yes, so Ash Dixon there is down for the North squad. North versus in the North versus South one. For the South squad, Alex Hodgman has been replaced by Daniel Leonard-Brown. I'm assuming injury has got in the way there. Funny, isn't it, how Ash Dixon plays for the Highlanders, but will be playing for the North squad. Alex Hodgman plays for the Blues, but we play for the South squad. But there we go. So do catch that. It's part of a Super Saturday this weekend with being sandwiched by the two Super Rugby AU games or Super Rugby Gold games before and afterwards. Also, the Farah Palmer Cup kicks off this weekend. Hopefully, I'll be able to get to the Waikato game. I've been given the forms for the COVID questionnaire forms that I need to sign to be allowed to fill in 2 days before to be allowed to get into the bubbles for those games. So we're looking forward to that. Sanzar boss Andy Marinos has said that it's pure speculation that South Africa might play in the Eight Nations tournament later this year and pull out of the Rugby Championship, which is due to, or has been rumoured to be happening in New Zealand this year. So we'll have to see what goes on there. But yes, talk out of France there that South Africa might be moving north with their allegiance in that one. Last night we had a wonderful driving mall show where we were joined by David Moffat, the ex-New Zealand rugby CEO, ex-Welsh rugby union CEO as well. So go back and listen to that you can listen to that as a podcast or on our Facebook page. The podcast, you can just search for New Zealand Sports Radio on iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, Acast, or your favourite podcatcher. We discuss the Mitre 10 Cup, we discuss professionalism, amateurism, we also discussed his new suggestions called Rugby Rules to move the game forwards. I'm now going to hand you over to Stephen for the sport that just keeps on giving. It's our NRL update. Well, stumbling over my letters there, Steve.
Thanks again, Paul. A few things happening off the field in rugby league. Telecommunications, the giant Huawei set to cut ties with the Canberra Raiders after 10 years, and interim Warriors coach Todd Payten set to join the North Queensland Cowboys, and that's where we start our league news this morning. New Zealand Warriors interim head coach Todd Payten is set to be announced as the new Queensland Cowboys head coach. Premiership winning coach Paul Green stepped down from his role at the Cowboys in July, and according to the Daily Telegraph, Phil Rothfield, who's a journalist there, Payten will be named as his replacement this week. Rothfield reported that the 3-year contract will be worth approximately $1.5 million. Payten has served as interim head coach of the Warriors since we all know Stephen Kearney was axed in June, and will remain in place until the end of the season, when Nathan Brown will take over the reins with a 3-year deal. Payten has since proven his worth as the NRL coach. The Warriors have won 4 of their last 5 encounters, only losing in that period to the Penrith Panthers, and that's not a bad team to lose to, given they are on the top of the table. Payten revealed he had rejected an offer from the Warriors to become their first full-time coach, saying he wanted to be based in Australia, given his wife's father had just started chemotherapy. I'd been offered the job, and I told the club I'm going to turn it down. Payten told originally NRL 360, "It's not an easy decision, something I agonized over for a few days, but in the end, it was the first time I put my family first in the decision. It just wasn't the right timing for the interim coach, so we want to wish him all the best. He is going great guns. Of course, just the 4 games left in the season for the Warriors, and they've got to win all those 4 games and hope a few results go their way. Moving along, Chinese telecommunications company Huawei has announced this season will be its last as the major sponsor of the Canberra Raiders. Huawei has sponsored the NRL side for the past 9 years, but cited the continued negative business environment it faces down under as a major reason for parting ways. The federal government branded the company high risk, and in 2018 prevented it from contributing to Australia's 5G mobile network because of fears Chinese intelligence may hack into the network. While its sponsorship reportedly worth $1 million a season is ending, Huawei and the Raiders Huawei announced a 2-year season deal with the Canberra Raiders in June 2019 to run through to the end of 2021 NRL season, Huawei said in a statement. However, the continued negative business environment is having a larger than originally forecasted impact on our planned revenue stream, and therefore we will have to terminate our major sponsorship of the Raiders at the end of the 2020 season. So there you have it. Quite an interesting one, Paul, when you consider the Warriors got a bit of a hard time about their sponsorship, Vodafone, and obviously Telstra being the main sponsor of the NRL. It's a bit weird all around, isn't it?
Yes, in the telecommunications, love NRL. Now, remember, Huawei are more of a hardware provider of telecommunications equipment as opposed to a provider of services, which is where Telstra and Vodafone would conflict, whereas Telstra would buy Huawei actual infrastructure to run their network. So, yeah, whilst they're in the same industry, not really a competitor of those two. Don't forget to join the standoff this Wednesday, where I'm sure the boys will have plenty to talk about around Todd Payten's appointment. I'm not sure how much they'll get into the politics of telecommunications and global spying, but we'll have to wait and see. I say Wednesday, 8 p.m. for the standoff show. Just to bring up to speed with all of the golf action, let's round up the golf action from the weekend. Lydia Ko finished tied at 28th at 9 under in the Walmart NW Arkansas Championship. Danny Lee was in action in the BMW Championship in the PGA Tour, where he finished tied at 33rd on 7 over. And then finally in the European Tour, Ryan Fox had been going really well, as high as 4th in that one, but finished unfortunately 28th overall. He started well, whereas the other two had started badly and then caught up later on. So our Kiwis going well in the golf around the world. Moving on then to the basketball, and a Michael Jordan rookie trading card has sold for more than 4 times the previous record price. This is I remember talking about the record price not that long ago, but now a 1986 card has changed hands for $420,000 for a piece of card. I'm sure that this is something that Daniel will be talking about in the basketball show this evening, because he does enjoy his basketball trading cards. So wow, that's an amazing one there. Today, the Miami Heat and the Milwaukee Bucks kick off their semi-final series, and the Oklahoma Thunder. Yes, it's D-Day for them against the Rockets, because they need to win today, or need to win the last two games of the series to go through. They need to win today to keep the series alive, and then they'll need to win again in 2 days' time to win that series. Yesterday's results, we had the Celtics beating the Raptors in the first of the conference semi-final games. The Clippers beat the Mavericks to keep their series alive. They're tied 3-3. The decider will be tomorrow. And the Nuggets beat the Jazz. The Nuggets beat the Jazz. Sorry, to go 3-3. Or as well, the Clippers beat the Mavericks to go through to the conference semifinals. The Nuggets and the Utah Nuggets beat the Mavericks to go to and finish at 3-3, decided tomorrow. Sorry, got myself mixed up there. One of the sheets shows the names and the nicknames of the teams. The other sheet shows the cities of the teams, and that's why I get myself mixed up occasionally on that one. Moving on then into motor racing, and in the IndyCar, they had a double header in Illinois, and in the second race, Scott Dixon finished 5th. He won on the in the first race of the weekend to get his 50th career victory. Not quite so well in the second race, but he finished 5th overall, and at the moment he looks like he's on track to win the overall driver's title. So even though he finished 5th in that one, and his lead did get closed a little bit. Now this race is another race that finished under a yellow flag caution. Remember, the same thing happened at the Indy 500, and he wasn't able to make a last minute passing maneuver. Again here, he wasn't able to make a last minute charge to try and get past a couple of places because of the caution there at the end. Moving on into tennis, and the US Open has started. The women's number 1 seed Pliskova went through comfortably in 2 sets, and Djokovic, the men's number 1 seed, will play. His game starts at 11 a.m. New Zealand time. Lots of games happening over there, obviously in the USA, and lots of games live. I can't bring up to date with all of them. There's just too much action going on, but do check that out. Djokovic also has kicked off a players' union. Controversially, it's only for the men. The women are not involved, and B, Nadal and Federer have both come out saying that we need unity at this time, not division. So interesting move there by Djokovic to kick off a players' union. A lot of players, I think something like 70 odd players have joined already. So clearly there is a good backing for it, but it's definitely a controversial move as well. We'll see how that all progresses. You have now started the day the best way, up to speed with all of the important sports news. Don't forget you can join us at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning to start your day the best way with the morning sports briefing. And don't forget that tonight at 8 p.m. we have the basketball show, where Daniel will be being up to date with all of the playoff action. And also, as I say, I'm sure he'll be talking about that trading card deal as well. Have a great day, everybody.